Bill Murray. It's Behind the Scenes with Bill Murray.
Okay.
One of my favorite films, Meatballs, everybody.
Yeah.
Any fly-on-the-wall moments?
Well, that was my first real movie as being like the big guy in the movie. And the first day of work, the makeup artist was making him up while she was smoking a cigarette. And she leaned into me and burned my face with a cigarette. And I just made that decision right then and there that I was going to get a tan and stay there. That was it. I was not going to bother to have any makeup for the rest of my life. But I mean, for the rest of that movie. So that was kind of a fun one, and we kind of rewrote it every single day. You know, we kind of go like, well, we can't do this. So we had a lot of fun making that movie.
Okay, next is a masterpiece, an absolute masterpiece, Tootsie. One of the best films.
Yeah, it's very good. My part just got thrown in. There weren't even any lines really for the part. It was just an idea that Elaine May had that said he should have a roommate.
Oh,
so I was the roommate.
May.
Yeah. So I got to make up scenes every day or so with Dustin, and I would propose the most outrageous things to do as sort of the opposite or the balance of what this guy was, who was, and I could do anything. And I said, how about a scene where I'm just we'll do this thing and I'll just be eating lemons, because I was playing a kind of an erratic playwright, and so I was going to eat lemons. And I ate lemons through the whole scene. Now, ordinarily, an actor would say, like, don't you be eating lemons in the scene while I'm over here, pal. But it didn't matter because he was in the garters and a pantyhose, you know? It's like, what the hell? So we had a great time together. Dustin and I had a great time together. And Sidney Pollack was, you know, had his hands in his hands all the time. They would argue about everything. They would argue about everything. What time is it? It is not. So they could argue about anything, and they finally made a deal that, like, he would do whatever, Dustin would do whatever Sidney wanted, but at the end, Dustin got one take to do exactly what he wanted. And 80% of the time, Dustin would start doing the take, doing his version, and then sort of fold into some sort of like Yiddish gibberish, and then drop his trousers and stumble off and fall over. Like, okay, we got it. All right, we got it. Okay, moving on. You know, but he just did it just to have fun.
That movie is so amazing. Okay, what was making the Royal Tenenbaums like? Because that is one of my favorite films of all time.
It's a kind of a funny day today, because today Gene Hackman passed away, who was the star of the Royal Tenenbaums, and he won a Golden Globe for it. He was really good. Guy was really, really good.
What was he like? I never got to meet him.
Well, he was, you know, he was at a, you know, it was, I sympathize with Gene, because, you know, to him, Wes Anderson was like just a punk kid, you know, and Gene's made some of the greatest American movies. So he was a little irritable, but he had to work with children, dogs, Kumar, who was like an absolute mystery to all of us anyway. You know, they put him in very challenging positions to work, and so he just felt a lot of responsibility and kept thinking, what am I doing here with these people? You know, but the performance he gives is brilliant. And, you know, I watched him, and I suffered with him because I saw what he was going through. But his timing, his patterns, his rhythms were really, really advanced. He was very, very good.
Do you think he came around and saw the film and that final product or end result?
Yeah, he was not an ignorant man. He was a bright guy, and when he saw the movie, he had to go, well, I acted like a jerk, you know. I'm sure he did, because when you see the movie, it's a real piece of work, you know. Wes Anderson makes great movies, and so does Gene Hackman, and you put them both in the same movie, what are you going to get? You're going to get a good movie. So.
It's one of my favorite films ever made.
Yeah. So, goodbye, Gene. I hope you're well, wherever you are.
It's an honor to talk about him with you today. Yeah. I mean that.
Yeah, he's a good one.